What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live Third and Longhorn postgame. We are recapping today's game against UTSA, University of Texas San Antonio, and Texas's 56-7 victory. I am joined to my left by Derrick Johnson, to my right, Mr. Alex Okafor. And guys, you know, this one's a tough one. We were just talking about this on how we recap this, how we say how we felt about it. Oak, let's go to you first, man. Give me your feelings on this game.
This is tough, and there's a lot to unpack here. My biggest takeaway leaving this game was I hope injuries doesn't derail a legendary Texas season. Like, this team has enough. This team has been built the right way. We've come out the gates. We've done everything. We've gone about and handled our business the right way. I just hope injuries doesn't chip away at this team, because I didn't like what I saw today. It made me a little uncomfortable what I saw today.
For sure.
And not that you saw bad play.
No, not bad play.
Not at all, right?
Just we're depleted.
Right.
Yeah.
And we know we played ball a long time, and it's part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We hate that part of the game,
Yeah.
right? We hate it, but it's part of the game. And certain years you have more injuries than others.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, this year we got a little bug going out there injury-wise, and we're going second, third, fourth deep right now, and we're still hanging on, which is good. When I say hanging on, just guys are stepping in, third and fourth string guys are just making it happen. That's how you tell how great Sark's recruiting and his depth is on this 2024 Longhorns football team. But man, I saw a lot of guys stepping up today.
Mm-hmm.
I really did. A lot of, like you said, Oak, there's a lot of stuff to unpack. We got a lot to unpack.
We got some
tonight.
work to do today.
But I tell you what, man, looking at the scoreboard and saying, hey, 56-7.
Yeah.
This is what I expected.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I expected, regardless of who contributed to this victory. I enjoyed today. I enjoyed today to see other players making plays. Leonga making plays, second string Mike Backer, knowing that he's a true second string guy that plays all special teams, but gets in there and get a sack, get some big plays. There's a lot of guys. I can name them off, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's funny. We talked about one of the greatest strengths of this team is the depth, right, and the development of the depth. And I think that's a great thing, but you don't like to get this deep into your depth this soon. Like we're 3 games into the season and we're starting to stretch it a little. So let's talk about the tiny elephant in this room and the Quinn injury. So let's talk about that and how it affects us going forward.
Well, I was at the game. You know, I'm sitting nice. I'm in the president's suite. I'm there. I'm chilling.
He was signing autographs at halftime too. Like, we're not gonna let Derrick undersell himself here. Like he had a meet and greet and everything.
But I'm sitting there and we're hanging out. We're watching the game, and Quinn's doing his thing, and then when Quinn goes down, the air in the stadium goes out. And I didn't even see him, because it was he didn't go down quick after he handed the ball off. He walked off, and then he walked back, and then kind of went on the ground.
Yeah, laid down.
We're looking like, who is that? And I knew something was up, because everybody in the stadium were quiet.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, all right. Let's everybody was very concerned for him, because he's had some injuries along the way. Yep. Right. This is not first time for Quinn, but he's been having such a great year. I feel bad for him at times. Sure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because that's you're talking about a favorite to win the Heisman. I mean, draft status and all that stuff. I was at first a lot of people were saying, talking about his, really predicting, is his knee, is his, Achilles. I'm like, hold on, don't stop,
Slow down.
Yeah. And then I heard it was abdomen or something, but hopefully he's okay and he's a speedy, quick recovery. We don't know how that is. You don't want to speculate when they talk about injuries. We don't know how bad it is, but it gave opportunity for a young star who we know is a gunslinger, and he did well.
Yeah,
they did well tonight.
For sure. And it's had such an ominous start to the game. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, because they were saying Quinn hit his hand on somebody's helmet earlier was the speculation first, and then then later on, I don't really know what happened. But then it was like Kelvin went down for a second. Malik went down for a second. And then you're just like, oh, man, we need to get out here with the win and some healthy bodies. But
it was definitely one of those days where, like DJ said, the injury bug was going around. But I want to kind of go back to Quinn real quick and just speak on, like DJ was saying, the human element involved here. And it sucks. I feel for him as well, just because he went about his business the right way in the offseason. He got incredibly better this year.
Oh, he did.
He took major steps this year. He was playing at a level that not many Texas quarterbacks reach. And I know it was only a small sample size this season, but he was playing at an absurd level. And to have that taken away from him, and I'm not saying it's going to be long-term, just momentarily. Have it taken away from him momentarily and just disrupting his rhythm a little bit sucks, because in the past when he's gone down, some of it has been his doing. He's taken unnecessary hits, stuff like that. His pocket awareness has increased so much. And even in this game, you see him scrambling and going down. Like, he's playing the game the right way. And the fact that he couldn't escape the injury bug for a third year in a row is disappointing for him, and I feel for him, man. I really do.
Oh, makes you sick, man. But, I think, look, it's this team's had a next man up mentality, and hopefully the good thing is we're at a part of the schedule. You hate to say that, you're at a part of the schedule where if this was going to happen and it was
do it now,
now's the right time. And I know there's no right time ever, but I think if we can recover from this, then this is the time for it to happen.
And we can. Obviously, Sark's done a great job with recruiting and getting the right people here. And speaking a little bit about Arch, because he played a lot more than we thought he would play tonight. We thought he was going to get maybe a second half and get going. But he got in, and as soon as he comes in, touchdown. It just I feel like the offense doesn't miss a beat with him because he's gotten himself to that. It has nothing to do with Quinn or nothing like that. He's gotten himself to a point where he say, okay, let me step in and do what we've been doing and just move the ball efficiently down the field. And there were a couple times where his reads were slow, but there's nothing better than experience. He's a young player, and we know he's a gunslinger, but he has to play more.
Yes.
He has to play more, and some people have big hopes for Arch. Arch has to play more. And when you play more, and I think he got sacked at one time, everybody was blocked up and they blitzed somebody off the edge. And that's the quarterback's man, meaning you got to get rid of the ball. Something's got to happen then. And he didn't quite do it. He didn't fumble or nothing like that. He took that hit. But after that, he bounced back. And, man, I was very surprised, especially. I knew he was fast, but, I mean, he's a little faster than I thought.
Somebody said 21 miles per hour was what he got up to.
Oh,
which,
wow.
I have not fact-checked that, but.
And the part that was most impressive to me is he made somebody miss in the open field.
Yeah,
he
that's
sat
hard
somebody
to do.
down in the open field running full speed.
Jaden blued him.
Right. Yeah, I'm with DJ. He just has to play more. Like you saw, Arch gave you everything you wanted to see. He made the right reads. His arm strength is incredible. His athleticism is off the charts, for a Manning at least. But he does have to play more. You saw when he first got in the game, the speed of the game was a little fast for him. Not incredibly fast, just a little fast. And I think he got better as the game went along, so that was great. But one thing I also like to see was that Sark didn't cut down his playbook at all for Arch.
He did not.
He still let it fly. Like
Instantly. First play. Yeah, it went to the DeAndre touchdown.
And that's what I love to see. That shows you that Arch is growing. He's building his confidence, that he understands and has grasped the playbook. And he can make all the throws and execute all the plays that Quinn can. Maybe not to the speed that Quinn can right now, but he can get it done. And that's what you like to see.
Yeah, and Arch's final stat line, 9 of 12, 223 yards, 4 touchdowns. And he also ran for 53 yards and had obviously the 67-yard touchdown. But also, let's not forget what Quinn was doing while he was in there. He had the one bad throw on the pick that looked just a little indecisive. But other than that, Quinn was 14 of 16 for 185 yards and 2 touchdowns. And also, to come, I think at this point, Sark's just messing with people to come out with, I believe it was 9 straight pass plays. Like it was 9 or 10. I mean, UTSA was like, he's going to hand this one off. Nope. Okay. This is going to be the handoff. Nope. Okay. And he just kept going.
And when you're a team that's better, just power, speed, better than the other team, usually you come out and just, let's hand it off and let's just show them how, we're big brother over here. But, I mean, Sark, every play. I'm like, because usually I'm a defensive guy, so whenever I see the offense out there, I'm before the play, I'm like, oh, it's a run, or it's a pass, and I'm like, it's a run. Every time I see it, I'm like, no, it's not.
I kept doing the same thing. I look like an idiot.
Okay, I get the identity. I get what he's saying. We're down when it comes to running backs. Blue didn't dress out today, so we're down on running back. So we're not going to just hand the ball off the whole time. We're trying to take care of our running backs at the most part. But Quinn can do it. You can put that on him. He's got confidence. Everybody in that organization, on that football team, coaching staff including, has plenty of confidence in Quinn to get the job done. If we got to throw it 100 times, he can make it happen, and he did. He was on that pace. So yeah.
Well, I also want to mention the receivers again. I know we leave the game impressed with this receiver room every single week.
Yeah.
I left even more impressed the third week. Jonte Cook, man.
Yeah.
How did it take us so long to get him involved?
Yeah.
A guy like that. Did you see the way he tracked that ball on that second touchdown?
Oh, my gosh. The throw and the catch on that was
unreal, man. We have so much depth in that room. It is unbelievable.
And when towards the end, when Trey Owens got in the game, I'm looking at the receiver. I'm like, you got Bolden right here. You got Wingo.
Right.
You got Cook. I'm like
caliber offense right
good. Like, seriously. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I mean, and I think this was the game. We knew Isaiah Bond was good. I think we all did, and I think we got to see his speed today and the way he turned that corner on that one pass. I mean, 5 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think I learned today that he was a track star in high school. I did not know that, and now it makes a lot more sense.
So putting that on film, I think, allows us to bring coverages up more. Just because if you're gonna play back, let's just smoke it to him right now. Let him get 10 yards. I mean, that's easy yardage for us, especially when you got a fast, strong guy like Bond. But man, he showed out today. I mean, again, we knew he was really good, but I just didn't know he was that fast. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe he didn't have the opportunity. I don't know, but man, we got some speed we got 5 or 6 receivers that can start anywhere in the league.
Man, listen to these stats. So Ryan Wingo, the true freshman, 3 catches, 127 yards and a touchdown, including that 75-yarder. Let's not forget Gunnar Helm at 1 reception for 49 yards, and we might need to spend a sec on that leap right there. Gunner's just showing off at this point.
He's making him some money. Gunnar he's building his draft profile right now each and every week, and I'm happy for him because he has one of my favorite interviews from this podcast.
Yeah, me too, man. I think we all when he left, we were all like, man, I like that kid.
Yeah, Gunnar, man, I love that he's just sure hands. If you got a tight end, if you're a young tight end out there and you're looking at how to play the game, if you're a big guy, you obviously have to block at times, but being able to have sure hands and catching, being able to hurdle, being able to get extra yards from the tight end position, man, I played against plenty of Hall of Fame tight ends when it comes to Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, and just all these guys, man. That was something that they really hung their head on, had confidence in catching that ball. I don't care what it is, catch that ball and get upfield. And Gunnar looks like he's a passing tight end, which we did not know.
Crazy,
which we did not know.
He was known as our blocking guy, in the past, and keep going down this list. Jonte Cook, 3 catches, 35 yards, 2 touchdowns. That first touchdown was spectacular. So was the second. And then I will say Matthew Golden is a much better all-around receiver than I thought. I knew he was. I mean, watching him kind of torch us last year on Houston, I knew he was a deep threat. But man, he is a solid wide receiver. He had 3 catches, 34 yards, and he's getting some tougher yards too.
Yeah, he is getting tough. Yeah,
third down.
He's a guy that he can take a hit or whatever, and he wants that punishment, whatnot. I mean, we obviously seen him last year. What he can do is potential. That's why he's here now. But again, just across the board, man. I mean, we just roll them out. And a lot of times when you have these receivers, when you're playing on offense, this is a good thing about Sark. There are times when you're going to run the ball, you put in this receiver and that receiver, they go block.
The blocker receiver.
Yeah. The guys is going to get in there. Yeah. It's like, nah, you don't know. You don't know. So it really opens Sark's offense up even more to saying, hey, you got to cover everything, every single play.
Yeah, I was excited to see when it's moving to the rushing part of the game. Obviously, not our most exciting run game today. And Trey ended up with 6 carries for 20 yards, but Jared Gibson got the lion's share of the load, 13 carries, 75 yards. And I mean, he was running hard, man. So I think these are some good minutes for him that I think are really going to come in. He got some strong Michigan minutes too.
Gibson, I like Gibson.
I do too.
I like Gibson. I like him between the tackles. I really do.
I do too.
Different runner than Wisner, but he's a guy that's different runner from Trey. I mean, he's really that traditional running back. Hey, I can go power counters or whatnot, or inside zone and get up and in and get you 4 or 5 yards, good hard yards. He had that fumble that which I know Coach Choice is really hard and great coach, by the way, especially, I mean, going deep in his bag when it comes to all these guys getting hurt. But to put him right back out there after that, say, nope, let's go right back out there, freshman. That's big stuff. That tells you, hey, we're confident in you. Hey, you made a mistake. Let's keep going. You know, it'll be a negative on the film tomorrow when we watch it, but let's go get some hard yards again.
And I'm glad he got it out of his system early. It being week 3 and him being a freshman.
Oh, we can't do that in Oklahoma.
Right. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got it out against UTSA instead of, like you said, in Oklahoma. And, you know, Coach Choice is going to coach him up hard, but he coach him up the right way and make sure that he eliminates these small mistakes.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, guys, we're recapping Texas's 56-7 victory over UTSA. It was a successful game in some rights, and also, you know, a little bit. It's got us a little feeling in the middle on this too. But if you guys out there have questions, comments, please start sending them in. We'll get to those towards the end. I think we're gonna flip to the defensive side of the ball now. But we didn't cover it before we get out of the offense. 614 total yards.
That's impressive.
Yeah. So and on the defense held them to 260, 128 rushing, and 132 passing. So it was. They broke that one run that I think is going to frustrate.
That was disappointing.
That was disappointing, right? It's like, because this is, again, we were reminiscing right now. When you're on defense, right, and you're stopping them, they were a little bit leaky at times, and that I didn't like, but it happens. We'll fix it. But when you break out, how long was that run? 50 yards? That was a long.
Yeah, it was.
That was a long run. So. What coaches will do the next day, they'll take that. You already look.
I didn't know what you were going to say.
We're going to take that 50-yard out.
53.
Guys, we take that 53-yard out. This is what they are. This one play gets that up there, guys.
And those numbers will make you sick too.
Yeah. You're like, dude, let's take away this one play. and usually it's a player or two that makes that ball bounce or cut backside the way it did. I think it was a counter play, and he didn't go the counter way. He kind of cut it backside and got up and in. A great run by him, but can't have it. And that's not the standard, and I know they're going to be hard on him for that. Even though it's a 56-7 win, that for defense, it's like we're like, man, we can't do that.
And another point of that is, I hope it's not like an indication that when we play lesser competition, we become a little bit unfocused up front defensively, because against Colorado State, a little leaky. Against UTSA, a little leaky. But when we got a big game against Michigan, pinched it shut.
Smothered,
So, I mean, I'm not saying that's the case, but it is a little concerning, especially with the type of front and the goals that we have for this team. We got to address this front. But if you transition onto the pass rush side,
I was gonna tee you up for this.
And I'll let you tee us up.
No. You go ahead, man, because I know you said this was gonna be a moment for for hopefully a little bit of a sack party.
Right.
So I'll let you get into it.
And it wasn't necessarily a party. It was a little get together. They had a little music.
Small gathering of friends.
Loud, But it was good. It was good to see the depth getting out there and rushing. Like, it was good seeing Colin Simmons, which has flashed the past 2 weeks. Colton Vasek get active. Ethan Burke get in there a little bit. Like, we have guys. We know the top-end guys can rush. Like Trey Moore, Barron Sorrell. We know these guys can get after the quarterback. We got the depth now that we can rotate these lines in and still get after these dudes. Like, I know I watched the tape from Michigan last week, and I love the fronts that PK is throwing out there. Like, I saw a 5-down front with our best rushers. Like, I want to see a little bit more of that. He's starting to get creative with these rush fronts, and it's starting to show, especially with a guy like Colin Simmons starting to click, and it's really starting to unlock this pass rush.
When I saw Colin out there, I'm like, man, that 11 looked pretty good out there.
He moved, man.
Just the speed that he has on the edge, man. Being that young and that big and strong and just instinct-wise, I every time I'm at practice or get a chance to see him rush, I'm always fascinated with the speed that he has at this young age and the grit that he has. We're going to need him down the road. So I think he's the leading sacker right now that we have, right? I think
he's got two on the year.
He's got two. And again, sacks come in bunches. We was hoping for this game to be that sack party, and it quite wasn't. But again, the thing about rushing, and Oak knows this better than me, you got to keep rushing. You got to keep rushing because pressures and being able to get your hand in the face and affect the quarterback, those sacks will come, but you just got to keep rushing. It's times where you have a great rush, boom, 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 and then the ball's out. Or you have a great rush and it's a draw play or some kind of screen play, and you're like, man, but you just got to keep rushing. And again, that's our deepest depth, our rushers. So I'm not worried about that. Numbers are down, but we'll get it. We'll get it.
And let me reiterate, I'm not worried at all either.
Okay.
Like, if you watch the way the teams that we're playing and the offenses we're playing, like, there's not many opportunities out there. We're not getting many drop back teams.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the reality of the situation. Now, when we do, I expect to heat it up. But for the teams we're playing and the offenses we're playing, we're doing a good enough job rushing
That's a good point.
Right now.
Yeah.
And the final stats are Colin Simmons was our leading tackler with 7 tackles, 6 solo, and then 1 sack. So solid game for him. Anthony Hill was six tackles.
By the way, Anthony Hill is a dude, man. I'm telling you. You're talking about a guy that's tough as nails, smart, in the middle of the defense. He was all over the place today. He really was. Just having that mentality. In the middle of this defense really helps us to gel together. Bender, can't say enough things about Bender, but just from that defensive line and the linebackers, I'm always impressed by their movement and speed and grit. Like, that's when you're a really good defense, you need to have gritty guys that you can take in the back alley. Say, man, this guy I can take with me if we're going to take the gloves off. And we got a lot of guys on defense that's like that. Baron Sorrell, that's one of those other guys. But again, we hold these guys at a higher level. That's why we, when we say they're, the running game was a little leaky, or they bust out one run, and some people might say, oh, that's not much or whatnot. No, for them it is because they don't want to give up nothing. It's a stingy defense, and we need to get even more stingier.
Yeah, and Colton Bassick ends up with a sack. Leonga Lafau got his first sack, and let's talk about this Ethan Burke pick 6. So, the defensive line, you might have not been the sack party, but a pick 6 pretty solid for us.
We made some splash plays, and that's what you like to see. I felt like that was kind of lacking from the edges last year, was big-time plays. Like, our big splash plays came from the middle last year. This year on the edges, everybody expected it to turn up a little bit on the edge, and that's what we've seen so far. Like, the numbers aren't there, but the impact is there, and you're seeing it, and you're starting to see it crank up each and every week. And it's going to come. It will come. And I don't know when that'll be. Depends on the offense, like I'm saying. But we're taking steps in the positive direction.
And when you want to, we are taking plenty of positive steps each week, and we're seeing different people step up. Third down again was great today. Or what, 2 of 15, 2 of 16?
Yeah, I think so.
That's great.
Yeah.
You go into a game and say, 2 of 16, regardless of who you play, that's dominating. And other than being leaky here and there, that was a dominating performance. So I'm happy that the defense came out healthy, at least a few guys. Nobody got hurt on defense, right?
Manny did for a second, but I think he came back
in? I thought he came back in.
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm getting word he did. So, well, guys, we're recapping Texas' 56-7 victory over UTSA today. And now, before we're about to get to the special teams, which is obviously the thing I care about the most. But if you guys have questions, comments, anything, please start getting those in now. We'll jump to those after we cover Bert Auburn's 8 for 8 performance on, by the way, it's still the longest streak now in the history of the University of Texas. So let's give it. And there was a point where somebody roughed the kicker, and I almost ran into the field. You touch Bert, you don't mess with us. Like, don't mess with us. Yeah. But we did get to see Michael Kern for the most extensive action he's seen this year. And I thought he looked pretty good. He had a 52-yard punt and 4 punts. That's a little more than we're used to. Yeah. I think he had like 2 total before that, maybe something like that. So pretty interesting. But yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Before we get to the questions, let's talk about the next. Obviously, this is an interesting part of the schedule where we've got University of Louisiana Monroe next week, and then Mississippi State at home, and then a week off before OU. So you've got, like we said, if there was a moment for somebody to get hurt, like even if it's not just Quinn, but other people, like this is like Jaden, all these people, this is a good time for that. But talk about that as we go into this part of the schedule and just trying to stay healthy and figure out what you got.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing. Whenever you're depleted, it's always hard to get your health back while still playing games. And
that's so true.
It is it's like football's a contact sport, and when you're depleted, like there's no room for just to sit guys. Like guys have to play, and it's hard to get healthy. I do believe we got a 2-week stretch. We got a 2-week stretch to get right, and when I say get right, I mean get healthy. And not saying we need to take our foot off the gas and start resting guys and start looking towards OU.
Right.
But realistically speaking, we got two weeks to get healthy, get our guys back. Hopefully we can get Quinn back within 2 weeks.
Right.
I'm confident in Arch, but I still believe Quinn gives us the best chance to win.
I agree.
But this 2-week stretch, like, the trainers in the training room are going to have to earn their money these 2 weeks.
Yeah. They're going to be busy this week.
Yeah.
And Oak, you're so right, man. When you get that injury bug, you want to put a pause and say, all right, let's get a couple weeks and let's just chill and get right. But the season goes on, so next man up mentality. And you can, practice is a banger too. You gotta run, and that takes a lot of energy out of you. If you can't perform the right way, if you're nagging on the injury wise during the week, that's going to be hard for you to get going on game day. So,
and that's a really good point, because guys aren't getting practice in now, and how does that affect the team? Like, it's hard. Like, guys going down puts you behind the curve, and it's hard to catch back up. Luckily, we have the depth like we've talked about, but it's a battle.
Yeah. We believe that they will get healthy. It's no panic. We're not panicking at all, but just a little concern about this injury bug we got going on, and hopefully our depth. Sark is pulling a lot out of the bag, going deep into the depth chart. It's still working, and hopefully those guys who got hurt can get back. I saw Garrett Gibson a little gimpy when he got up. I'm like, oh man, yeah.
Ain't no way.
But then
he came back in.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Everybody said, hey, let's rub it a little bit. Get back in there. Right. So yeah.
Well, if you guys have questions, comments, start hitting us up. We've got, thanks to Jacoby Kirkhart, huge win. That's his comment. And then Dadgum Batman, it says hook 'em. Let's see. Chris Bennett, what's up from Washington State? What's up, CB? Let's see. Bones, 12 by 2. Great game. UTSA players, he said, are kind of punks, and the injuries at running back are a real problem now. I seriously want to see Page and the SMU transfer play a lot against Louisiana Monroe. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the goal, right? The goal is to get those guys in on the field, to take care of business early. And I think we did a good job today. It didn't go like we thought it would, but everybody got in, everybody got some playing time, and I think that was.
And everybody gets better when they play. When young guys play, you get better, man. Because even if you mess up, you get better. You go back to the film room and say, oh, I can't do this no more. Oh, I need to be ready for this and this. And then when that time comes again, you're just more prepared. So I love when we have, maybe some people don't like when we blow teams out and say, oh, that's not worth. Man, that's when you really tell, okay, I can count on this guy, I can count on that guy. This guy didn't have any bust, or he played his butt off, all that stuff, man. Coaches are evaluating all the time, regardless if it's in the off season or if it's during the season. Every time, coaches are evaluating and seeing who's going to be the guy to help us to win, because we need everybody. It's the ultimate team sport.
Yeah. And this one's for you, Oak. Dadgum Batman says, Ayo about to have a heart attack about the running back room.
It's concerning.
It is concerning.
It is. We'll get back right, though. We will. I'm confident.
Yeah. Then Tomas Montano, I think we covered this. How are we going to recover from all the hurt players? Can we? I mean, yeah, we have the depth, right? Like, that's the key, is just, and I think the timing is strangely fortuitous, so hopefully, but we'll see.
Yeah.
You got to take care of business week in and week out. I mean, we're seeing that with a lot of teams around college football today, right? Like there's a lot of teams you probably overlooked. Notre Dame was guilty of it early for Northern Illinois. So it can happen, right? Like, and you know, I think we felt pretty confident going into this game, pretty confident going into the next. And then, you know, then after that, it's SEC ball. It gets real.
Yeah, I want to add one little piece that I forgot to mention about the offense. One thing I want to see get cleaned up a little bit is the penalties. Like starting off the game that first quarter, and it's been a trend.
I know.
It's been a trend the first quarters. We've come out not slow, but not as sharp in terms of penalties.
Yeah.
Especially false starts, stuff like that. We got to clean that up because it's going to come back to hurt us in the future. Like, we're getting away with it against Colorado State. We're getting away with it against UTSA. We even got away with it against Michigan, which is starting to show they're not who we thought they were with their dogfight they had today. But we got to clean that up, and I think we will.
Yeah.
Dadgum Batman says, are we going back to our old days on defense, or was this just a one-off? Look, we allowed 7 points, right? We had one bad run that broke. So other than that,
you take that run away. We played pretty good.
We hold them under 100 rushing, and they're, you know, that's like a 200-yard total day pretty much if that doesn't happen. So I mean, I think I'm still
these are good questions or good comments, I should say, just because our standard is high here.
It's
cool. It's high.
It's good. It's back to being high.
It's cool. That's what you want.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
And I'll say it, our guys they still move so well to the ball and so fast. This team is fast.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw that one play Barron Sorrell made. Like, you know, they don't give up easy yards, right? Like this team, when they're dialed, they're tough. Let's see. Chris Bennett, did you see Arch juke that UTSA defender on that touchdown run? That thing was
disgusting.
And then look back at the end. I say he got a little swag on. I like it.
Hit him with the dead leg.
Yeah.
To the house. Crazy.
Man, you know that was not on the UTSA tape. They did not expect the.
I wasn't on the scouting report.
Yeah, the 67-yard Arch Manning 21-mile-per-hour run. I mean, it just gets more legendary as it goes.
Yeah,
so.
all week RPO, they were like, all right, guys, you know, crash down. Quinn's probably not gonna pull it, you know, and then he gets in the game and pulls it, and
I did like that the next. I think it was the next drive. He came back with the exact same play, and they were ready for it that time. They're like, nah, come on, man, come on.
The good thing for Arch is he put it on tape, so now moving forward, he's considered a runner.
Yeah.
He's a mobile quarterback. I like that.
He's got a label now.
It says, Daggum Batman, with the running back situation, what is right? Do we play blue the next game? I mean, I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
I don't know. I think they're doing the right thing by sitting them. We mentioned that during the week, talking about UTSA, seeing if he was going to play much or not, and he didn't play any. I think he probably feels better now. I think he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But you know, as long as he, you know, you know what you have in him, and he's not. You got to be careful with that because he has to run. He has to get going, especially during practice. But you know, you may sit him just for this game and then come back the next game. Maybe all the runners are going to play next week, so I mean, he won't get a crazy amount of touches. I don't think.
Yeah, I think it's the same thought process. Whatever protocol they went through this week, I think you do the same thing for the upcoming week. I wouldn't put him out there unless he's at least 85%. I think we have enough to get past Louisiana Monroe. But I'm with DJ. It's a slippery slope. You can't just
you don't want to put him on ice.
Yeah, you can't put him on ice for 3 weeks. So I mean, you got to be careful and mindful with the reps. But there's a little game you got to play in there.
Yeah, Chris Bennett asked, did y'all think UTSA was playing dirty?
It got a little chippy out there.
Yeah, it didn't strike me as dirty, but it got a little heated. I mean,
chippy. And that just comes from, you know, always hearing they're our little brothers being right down the road. That's all it is. Like DJ said, Texas is back, so we got a target.
Absolutely.
Everybody's coming for us.
Yep.
That's true. Ashley Guerrero asked, our receivers are great, and Jake Majors has been such a solid player offensively as well, but what are y'all's thoughts on the offensive line in general and any areas that need to improve?
I think the O-line has been doing an exceptional job. Even and I look at a play like when Arch first got in the game and he was in his own end zone and he dropped back, and he got to sit back there for a good 5 seconds without even being touched, man. Like, our O-line is playing at a high level right now, and it comes with the experience. Like, this is probably the most experienced O-line we've had in years. Like, I wouldn't even say going back to the days that I played, like, this is an elite O-line, and I honestly don't have any concerns. Like I said, they need to clean up the penalties, clean up the false starts. But other than that, we're good.
I like that Banks got back in the game. That was good for him. When he went down, I'm like, man, that's another, top 10 pick or whatnot. I think the offensive line is doing well. They're a veteran group. We're going to go as far as they'll take us. Offensive line and defensive line, it always starts up front, regardless of what team. I don't care if it's a passing team or a running team. It always starts up front. If you can't protect that quarterback, that big money guy, then things won't go well for you. But things are going well for us, so they're doing well.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, one more comment before we go. It says, Nick, make your parents proud and call out that Washington State won the Apple Cup. That is true. The underdog Cougs, baby, they're always coming through. Gotta love them. God bless them. Well, guys, I think that wraps what I had to say. I think we'll get to previewing ULM later this week. But if you guys don't have anything else, thanks so much everybody for tuning in. Recapping Texas' 56-7 victory over UTSA. And if you like what you're hearing, please like, subscribe, wherever it is you experience this, Spotify, YouTube, Apple, wherever it is. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see y'all later this week. Hook 'em.
Yes, sir. All right, fellas.